What if I told you a bad customer experience might actually be your biggest opportunity? I'm Paul Pember, and welcome to this week's episode of How to Have Great CX, where I'm going to bring to life this week's newsletter. It's the same format every week: the insight, the quote, and the article. So this week, the insight is called the service recovery paradox. We've got a quote from Aristotle, no less, which he talks about we can't learn without pain. And then the article was written by moi, and that is that everyone talks about being customer centric, but no one talks about this. And I'm going to talk about the importance that really people always overlook. They always talk about mindset and culture, but never talk about this really important thing. So I'm going to talk about that later on. So the insight this week was called the service recovery paradox. And the question is bad customer experience an opportunity? And based on the data, I think it is. The world isn't perfect, right? And your customer experience won't be either. It's impossible. Things will go wrong. And this is where service recovery comes in. This is something you really can't leave to chance, right? You can't leave it up to your people to do this. Yes, they have to deliver it, but actually you need to design your recovery journey. And not designing service recovery is what I call a CX crime. And this visual shows it really, really well in terms of it's such a big opportunity to create loyalty when a customer has a poor experience with you. And this was really backed up by Qualtrics, and they basically done loads of research and said that about 3.7 trillion is at risk in terms of revenue. And it's really important that organizations then build that system to be able to spot when service hasn't gone as it should have done, and then how do you then intervene and create loyalty and turn around the experience. And they basically found there's a 633% ROI over 3 years. So it really, really does pay. And I know what you're thinking. If you're from non-for-profit or public sector, this doesn't apply to me. Service recovery builds trust. It shows you care, and it helps prevent more costly demands such as phone calls and complaints. So my question to you is, how would you describe your organization's service recovery, and could it be more effective? And the quote this week is from Aristotle: "We can't learn without pain." And at the heart of customer experience is one core mission: find the pain, right? We are all chief pain hunters, and our job is to track down every customer pain point. But this can't be a solo mission. You need allies. You need to form collaborations across your organization, HR, technology. They are pain hunters too. And a fellow CX geek, Nick Streetfield, who's CEO of GovMetric, always says, we love complaints. That's his big campaign at the moment. And that's basically the same as saying we love finding pain, because complaints equals pain. Pain equals learning, learning equals improvement, improvement equals growth. And every operator model should be built to do three things: remove pain through service design, predict pain through journey analytics, and respond to pain through service recovery. So go and find that pain. And a question for you to reflect on: how is your operator model designed to remove, predict, and respond to pain? And the article this week is called "Everyone Talks About Being Customer Centric, but No One Talks About This." Big warning, it's boring, because customer centric is often framed as a mindset. And that is true, but it's just not enough. Mindset alone only gets you so far. You need something that sounds much less fancy: mechanisms. I know, but you're losing a tiring battle without them. So you need 5 mechanisms to build your customer-centric organization. Let me talk through each one really quickly. The first one is you need a mechanism to understand your customers. This helps you build a rich human understanding of your customers, what they do, who they are, what matters to them, and what's their experience with your organization. The second one, you need a mechanism for designing the future experience, right? You need to kind of use all of those insights that you've got to shape the future experience that puts customers at the center and help connect and join up the whole organization around a real clear shared vision and end-to-end journeys. The third You need a mechanism for acting and improving the current customer experience. It's no good just doing lots of research and doing designs that look great on paper. You need to act and you need to actually make an impact. So this is all about making sure that you don't get stuck and you actually make real change and you move your future vision into reality. The fourth one, you need a mechanism for measuring the impact and intended value. Okay, so this is about you ensuring that both from a customer and an organization point of view, you're seeing the value and impact. It's just not enough to make changes without knowing the impact it's had. And many improvements can unintentionally shift problems downstream. And it's really important here that it's about impact for the customer, but it has to be an impact for the business as well. And the fifth one, you need a mechanism for enabling the right climate across your organization, right? Even if you've nailed the other four areas, you'll be fighting an uphill battle if your organization hasn't created the right environment for customer experience to thrive. And this one really helps develop those essential enablers around governance and leadership and collaboration. So, reflection question, which of these mechanisms is your organization strongest in and which one needs the most work? So that's it for this week's edition. If you want to learn how your organization can develop these 5 mechanisms, I've got a Customer First, which is a little mini ebook that you can download here that goes through each of those mechanisms in more detail. So thank you for tuning in and thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.